Opening a second clinic feels like a huge achievement. Opening a third feels even better. You're serving more patients, hiring more staff, expanding your reputation. Everything seems to be moving in the right direction. But after the excitement fades, a different reality begins. The systems that worked for one location suddenly stop working. Managing multiple clinics isn't just doing the same job twice or 3 times. The complexity grows much faster than the business itself. Each location develops its own routines, its own software, its own scheduling process, its own paperwork. Instead of running one business, you're managing several separate businesses under the same brand. Patients notice it first. Someone visits one clinic for treatment. A few weeks later, they visit another location, but their records aren't there. Treatment notes are missing. Medical history isn't available. The patient has to explain everything again. Confidence disappears. Trust starts to fade. The staff feel the pressure too. One clinic struggles with double bookings. Another deals with constant cancellations. Billing works differently at every branch. Reports take hours to prepare. Inventory sits unused in one location while another runs out of supplies. Everyone stays busy, but nobody sees the complete picture. As the owner, you're no longer leading the business, you're simply reacting to problems all day. The biggest danger isn't the inconvenience, it's the hidden cost. Appointments are missed because reminder systems aren't consistent. Billing mistakes slip through unnoticed. Staff spend hours doing work that should take minutes. Administrators waste time combining spreadsheets instead of improving operations. Patients receive different experiences depending on which clinic they visit. One branch feels organized, another feels confusing. To patients, there is only one brand. One bad experience affects every location. Your staff suffer too. Front desk teams constantly apologize for problems they didn't create. Healthcare professionals struggle because patient information isn't available when they need it. Stress rises, motivation falls. Eventually, good employees leave. Replacing experienced staff costs time, money, and momentum, but the biggest cost is paid by the owner. The business that once represented freedom slowly becomes a source of stress. More phone calls, more emergencies, longer hours, less time for family, less time for strategy, less time to grow. Instead of building the future, you're trapped fixing today's problems. And that's exactly where many growing clinics end up. Not because they're bad at healthcare, but because their systems were never built to grow with the business. The biggest breakthrough comes when you stop asking, how can I work harder? And start asking, how can my business work smarter? Because the truth is, you can't fix broken operations by hiring more people. You can't solve disconnected systems with more spreadsheets, and you definitely can't scale a growing business using phone calls and manual updates. The answer is much simpler. Everything needs to work from one central system, one dashboard, one source of truth. But a dashboard is much more than software. It's a completely different way of running your business. Instead of treating every clinic as a separate operation, you manage every location as one connected organization. Every employee, every patient, every appointment, every report, everything works together. Imagine opening one screen every morning and instantly seeing what's happening across every clinic. Provider schedules, patient appointments, revenue, billing, staff performance. Everything is available in real time. No switching between different systems. No chasing information. The information comes to you. Patient records become unified, no matter which location a patient visits. Authorized staff instantly see their complete history. Appointments become easier because every calendar is connected. Billing follows the same process everywhere. Reports that once took hours are available with a single click. Instead of guessing, you start making decisions using real-time data. That's the real power of a centralized dashboard. It replaces confusion with clarity, stress with confidence, and constant reaction with complete control. Once every location runs on one system, everything begins to improve. The first advantage is visibility. You no longer wait until the end of the month to understand your business. You can see what's happening right now. Which clinic is attracting the most patients? Which services generate the highest revenue? Which providers have open availability? Which location has the highest cancellation rate? The answers are always in front of you. That means you solve problems before they become expensive. Instead of reacting after revenue falls, you take action while opportunities still exist. The second advantage is consistency. Patients should receive the same great experience no matter which location they visit with one unified system. Every clinic follows the same process, the same patient intake, The same reminders, the same documentation, the same billing, the same follow-up communication. Consistency builds trust, trust builds loyalty, and loyal patients fuel long-term growth. The third advantage is a better experience for both patients and staff. Patients can book appointments at any location without confusion. Their records move with them automatically. No repeating medical history, no unnecessary paperwork, no frustration. Everything feels connected. Because it finally is, your team benefits too. Front desk staff spend less time fixing preventable problems. Clinicians always have the information they need. Employees can work across locations without learning completely different systems. Instead of fighting technology, technology starts supporting their work. Stress drops, productivity rises, and your team can focus on what matters most, providing outstanding patient care. The fourth advantage is what every business owner ultimately wants: freedom to grow. When daily operations become predictable, you finally have time to think strategically. Instead of constantly solving problems, you start planning the future. You can see where demand is growing, identify which services deserve more investment, balance staff across every location, measure marketing performance accurately, and confidently decide when it's time to open another clinic. Growth becomes intentional, not accidental. You're no longer relying on guesswork. You're leading with data, with confidence, and with complete visibility. That's the difference between owning several busy clinics and leading one highly organized healthcare organization. If you've ever felt overwhelmed managing multiple locations, you're definitely not alone. Every growing clinic reaches a point where old systems stop working. The good news is, it doesn't have to stay that way. With the right systems, you can simplify operations, deliver a consistent patient experience, reduce daily stress, and grow without adding more chaos. Let me share a real example. A physical therapist, let's call her Dr. Anna Chen, started with one successful clinic. Her reputation was built on exceptional patient care. Patients trusted her. Word spread quickly. Soon, she opened a second clinic, then a third. On paper, everything looked like success. But behind the scenes, every location works differently. One clinic used modern cloud software. Another relied on outdated programs. The third still managed appointments with shared calendars and paper files. Nothing was connected. Patients moving between clinics became frustrated. Their records weren't available. Treatment plans were missing. Staff spent more time searching for information than helping patients. Appointment reminders were inconsistent. One clinic used text messages, another used email. The third often sent no reminder at all. Financial reporting became another headache. Every week, Anna and her administrator spent nearly 15 hours combining reports from different systems. By the time everything was finished, the data was already outdated. The business kept growing, but efficiency kept falling. Stress continued to rise. Then one day, everything changed. A patient who had visited all 3 locations received 3 separate bills for what should have been one payment. That was the turning point. Anna realized the problem wasn't her staff. It wasn't her patients, and it wasn't growth itself. The real problem was disconnected systems running the business. She made one important decision. She moved every clinic onto one unified dashboard. The transition took planning, training, and commitment, but the results came faster than expected. Appointment reminders became fully automated. Patient records were instantly available at every location. Financial reports that once took 15 hours now took less than 30 minutes, but the biggest improvement wasn't speed. It was visibility. For the first time, Anna could see exactly what was happening across every clinic. Her dashboard revealed something she had never noticed before. One suburban location was receiving far fewer bookings for one of its highest value services. Without that dashboard, she probably never would have spotted the problem. Using the same system, she launched a targeted email campaign for patients living nearby. Within a few months, bookings increased dramatically. That location became one of her strongest performers. The difference wasn't luck. The difference was having the right information at the right time. Instead of reacting to problems, she started making confident business decisions backed by real data. She wasn't simply managing clinics anymore. She was leading an organization. Scaling a healthcare practice isn't easy. The skills that help you build one successful clinic are rarely the same skills needed to manage several locations. As your business grows, complexity grows even faster. Without connected systems, growth creates confusion. Confusion creates mistakes. Mistakes create stress. And eventually, stress limits growth. But it doesn't have to stay that way. A unified dashboard is much more than software. It's the central operating system of your entire organization. It keeps every location connected, every employee informed, every patient supported, and every decision backed by accurate, real-time data. Instead of spending every day solving emergencies, you finally have the freedom to focus on leadership, innovation, expansion, and long-term growth. Before you leave, take just 1 minute to evaluate your own practice. Pick one everyday process: patient scheduling, appointment reminders, billing, patient records, or daily reporting. Now ask yourself one simple question: is this process handled exactly the same way, using the same system across every one of your locations? If your answer is no, or even I'm not sure, you've already discovered one of the biggest weaknesses in your business. And that's actually good news, because once you identify the problem, you can finally fix it. Every successful transformation starts with one decision: the decision to replace chaos with clarity, disconnected systems with one connected workflow, and daily stress with complete control. If you're ready to stop managing every clinic separately and start running your entire organization from one powerful dashboard, check out the free guide linked in the description below. It walks you through everything you need to know before choosing a multi-location management system. And if you'd like to see how a system like this works in a real clinic, you can also book a private demonstration through our website. Stop letting growth create more chaos. Build systems that grow with your business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.